First Contact and Galactic Ridicule. The vast chamber of the Galactic Council hummed with an air of superiority and disdain. Hundreds of alien delegates, each representing civilizations spanning thousands of light years, turned their attention to the lone human standing at the center. Ambassador Sarah Chen squared her shoulders, acutely aware of the weight of humanity's future resting upon them. High Counselor Zixnera, a towering figure with iridescent scales and multiple eyes, leaned forward on his hovering platform. So the primitives from Sol 3 believe they are ready to join galactic society. His voice pricked with condescension, eliciting chittering laughter from the assembly. Sarah took a deep breath, her crisp blue uniform a stark contrast to the ornate attire of the alien representatives. Esteemed members of the Galactic Council, humanity comes before you not as primitives, but as equals. We seek to contribute our unique perspectives and abilities to the greater galactic community. A cacophony of derisive sounds filled the chamber. From her left, a gelatinous being pulsed with mocking bioluminescence. Contribute? What could your infant species possibly offer? You've barely mastered faster-than-light travel. Sarah's jaw tightened, but she maintained her composure. While it's true that we are newcomers to interstellar travel, humanity has a rich history of rapid technological advancement and adaptability. High Counselor Zixnera's appendages waved dismissively. We have monitored your species for centuries. Your propensity for conflict and self-destruction is well documented. The Galactic Council has no need for warmongering savages. Murmurs of agreement rippled through the assembly. Sarah felt her face flush with a mixture of anger and determination. With all due respect, High Counselor, you've observed our struggles, but have you truly understood our resilience? Our capacity for growth? A serpentine creature near the back of the chamber hissed. Your kind still fights over arbitrary planetary borders and depletes your own resources. How can you claim to be ready for galactic citizenship? Sarah's eyes narrowed. It is precisely because of our challenges that we stand here today, unified as never before. Humanity has learned from its mistakes and... Enough. Zixnera's booming voice cut through the air. We have indulged this farce long enough. The motion to deny humanity's petition for Galactic Council membership and restrict their interstellar activities is on the floor. All in favor? A sea of appendages, tentacles, and other alien limbs rose in near unanimous agreement. Sarah's heart sank, but the fire in her eyes didn't dim. Zixnera's mouth parts twisted into what passed for a smirk. The motion carries. Humanity is hereby confined to their home system until such time as they prove themselves worthy. If ever, this session is adjourned. As the alien delegates began to disperse, many casting superior glances her way, Sarah clenched her fists. She caught the eye of Krell, a Centaurian diplomat who had remained silent throughout the proceedings. Unlike the others, his expression held a hint of sympathy, perhaps even respect. Sarah approached him, her voice low. This isn't over, Krell. They've made a grave mistake in underestimating us. Krell's 4 eyes blinked in sequence. Take care, Ambassador Chen. The Council's decision is not made lightly, and challenging it could have severe consequences. So be it, Sarah replied, her tone resolute. Humanity has faced long odds before. We'll prove ourselves, with or without the Council's approval. As Sarah turned to leave, Krell called after her. For what it's worth, Ambassador, I believe your species has potential. But be wary. There are forces in this galaxy that will not hesitate to crush that potential if they feel threatened. Sarah nodded, a grim smile on her face. Then they'd better be prepared for one hell of a fight. Back on Earth, in the sprawling United Earth Government complex in Geneva, Sarah delivered the news to a room full of grim-faced leaders. President Adebayo, a tall woman with streaks of gray in her dark hair, listened intently as Sarah recounted the Council's dismissal. So they think we're nothing more than squabbling children, Adebayo mused, her fingers steepled before her. What do you recommend, Ambassador Chen? Sarah's eyes gleamed with determination. Madam President, distinguished colleagues, the Galactic Council has made their stance clear. They expect us to meekly accept their judgment and remain isolated in our solar system. I say we do the opposite. A murmur ran through the room. General Zhao, head of the United Earth Defense Force, leaned forward. What exactly are you proposing, Ambassador? We accelerate our plans, Sarah said, her voice filled with conviction. Project Prometheus, the terraforming initiatives, the deep space exploration programs, we push them all into overdrive. Let the Council think we're licking our wounds. In reality, we'll be preparing to show the galaxy what humanity is truly capable of. President Adebayo's eyes narrowed thoughtfully. That's a risky strategy, Sarah. If the Council discovers our activities, it could lead to severe repercussions, possibly even military action against Earth. With all due respect, Madam President, General Zhao interjected, I believe Ambassador Chen is right. The Council has already shown they don't respect us. Our only path forward is to demand that respect through our actions. The room fell silent as President Adebayo considered their words. Finally, she nodded slowly. Very well. We'll proceed with accelerated development, but with the utmost secrecy. Ambassador Chen, I want you to maintain diplomatic channels with any sympathetic alien races. General Zhao, double our defense preparations. If we're going to defy the Council, we need to be ready for any potential backlash. As the meeting adjourned, Sarah felt a mix of excitement and apprehension. Humanity had been backed into a corner, but if there was one thing humans excelled at, it was fighting their way out against impossible odds. In the weeks that followed, Earth became a hive of clandestine activity. Hidden shipyards and asteroid belts worked tirelessly, constructing vessels that pushed the boundaries of human engineering. Research labs delved into breakthrough technologies, reverse engineering alien artifacts, and pushing human innovation to new heights. Sarah split her time between Earth and discreet meetings with potential alien allies. She found an unlikely friend in Kral, the Centaurian diplomat, who provided valuable insights into Council politics and galactic technology. During one such meeting in a nondescript space station orbiting a gas giant in a neutral system, Kral expressed his concerns. The Council grows suspicious, Sarah. There are rumors of unusual activity in your system. You must be cautious. Sarah's expression remained neutral, but her mind raced. Thank you for the warning, Kral. Rest assured, humanity is simply focusing on internal development, as the Council demanded. Kral's upper eyes narrowed. We both know that's not entirely true. I won't ask for details, plausible deniability, and all that. But whatever you're planning, I hope it's worth the risk. As Sarah prepared to return to Earth, she paused. Kral, why are you helping us? Your people voted with the Council to restrict humanity. The Centaurian was silent for a moment. Because, Sarah, I've studied your history, your art, your literature, your indomitable spirit. The galaxy needs humanity's unique perspective, whether the Council realizes it or not. Just don't make me regret this trust. Sarah nodded solemnly. We won't let you down, Kral. Humanity is going to change the galaxy, for the better. As her ship broke orbit, Sarah's mind was already racing with plans and strategies. The Galactic Council had dismissed humanity as primitive and unworthy. Soon, they would learn just how grave a mistake that was. The stars awaited, and humanity was determined to claim its place among them, no matter the obstacles. Little did the Council know, their ridicule had only served to fuel humanity's fire. The stage was set for a galactic upheaval, with humanity poised to be its unlikely catalyst. The underdog's preparation. In the shadows of Earth's moon, hidden from prying alien eyes, the massive structure of Olympus Station took shape. General Zhao stood at the panoramic window of the command center, watching as construction drones swarmed around the skeleton of humanity's first true deep space military installation. Status report, Zhao barked, not turning from the view. Colonel Yuki Tanaka, his second-in-command, stepped forward. Sir, Project Prometheus is proceeding ahead of schedule. The prototype Hercules-class battleships are in final testing phases, and the Aegis defense grid is at 60% completion. Zhao nodded, a rare smile crossing his weathered face. Excellent. And Project Daedalus? Tanaka's expression tightened slightly. The faster-than-light drive improvements are promising, sir. Dr. Emerson believes we've achieved travel speeds that surpass anything known to the Galactic Council. However, the power requirements are still problematic. Keep pushing, Zhou said, his voice firm. If we're going to surprise the Council, we need every advantage we can get. As if on cue, a holographic display flickered to life, showing the face of President Adebayo. General, Colonel, I trust I'm not interrupting. Not at all, Madam President, Zhao replied, turning to face the projection. We were just discussing our progress. Adebayo's expression was grim. I'm glad to hear it because our timeline may have just accelerated. Ambassador Chen has some concerning news. The hologram expanded, revealing Sarah Chen standing beside the president. Her usual composure was strained, worry evident in her eyes. General, Colonel, Sarah began, I just received word from Kral. The Council is growing increasingly suspicious of our activities. There's talk of sending an inspection team to Seoul to ensure we're complying with their restrictions. Zhao's fists clenched. How long do we have? A month, maybe 2 at most, Sarah replied. We need to be ready before they arrive, or all our efforts will be for nothing. President Adebayo leaned forward, her gaze intense. You've all done remarkable work, but now we need miracles. Whatever it takes, whatever resources you need, you have my full authorization. Humanity's future depends on your success. As the transmission ended, Zhao turned to Tanaka. You heard the president. Send out the word. All projects move to round-the-clock operations. I want the Hercules fleet ready for shakedown cruises in 3 weeks. Tanaka's eyes widened. Sir, that's nearly impossible. Nearly impossible is what humanity does best. Colonel, Zhao cut her off. Make it happen. Over the next few weeks, humanity's hidden shipyards and research facilities became hives of frenzied activity. Scientists and engineers worked to the point of exhaustion, pushing the boundaries of human knowledge and technology. In a top-secret lab beneath the Mariana Trench, Dr. Samantha Emerson stared at holographic projections of energy patterns, her eyes bloodshot from lack of sleep. Come on, she muttered, manipulating the variables of her faster-than-light drive simulation. Suddenly, the chaotic energy patterns stabilized, forming a perfect, sustained wormhole. Samantha blinked, hardly daring to believe her eyes. Computer, run diagnostic. Simulation successful, the AI responded. Stable wormhole achieved with 50% less energy expenditure than previous models. A whoop of joy echoed through the lab. Samantha's fingers flew across the holographic interface, refining the calculations. Alert General Zhao, she said, her voice trembling with excitement. Tell him Project Daedalus is ready for full-scale testing. Meanwhile, on Mars, terraforming efforts had entered their final stages. Massive atmospheric processors hummed with energy, gradually thickening the red planet's atmosphere and raising its temperature. In a pressurized dome near Olympus Mons, Dr. Alejandro Reyes carefully tended to rows of genetically modified plants, specifically designed to thrive in Martian soil. How are they looking, Doc? Asked Major Lisa Chen, the military liaison for the Mars project. Alejandro grinned, holding up a ripe red fruit. See for yourself, Major. The first Martian-grown tomato. In a few years, Mars won't just be habitable. It'll be a breadbasket for our entire solar system. Lisa's eyes widened as she bit into the tomato. It's delicious, but will a few years be soon enough? Alejandro's expression grew serious. It has to be. Every colony, every outpost we establish strengthens humanity's position. We can't afford to fail. Back on Earth, in the depths of the Sahara Desert, a different kind of preparation was underway. Captain Marcus Santos led his squad through a holographic simulation of an alien cityscape, their movements fluid and coordinated. "Contact left," Marcus shouted, dropping to one knee and firing his pulse rifle. The alien hologram disintegrated, but more appeared, their weapons spitting energy bolts. The squad reacted instantly, taking cover and returning fire. Within minutes, the simulation ended, the alien holograms fading away. "Excellent work, Phantom Squad," came General Joe's voice over the comm. "Your reaction times have improved by 15% since last week." Marcus removed his helmet, wiping sweat from his brow. "Thank you, sir. But will it be enough if we have to face real alien forces?" There was a pause before Zhao responded. "Let's hope it doesn't come to that, Captain. But if it does, I have faith in you and your team. Humanity's survival may well depend on soldiers like you." As weeks turned into months, humanity's preparations continued in secret. The first Hercules-class battleships, sleek and powerful, emerged from their hidden construction base. Bristling with weapons that melded human ingenuity with reverse-engineered alien technology, they represented humanity's best hope for defending itself against potential alien aggression. On Olympus Station, General Zhao and Colonel Tanaka stood before a holographic display of the solar system. Dozens of blue dots represented human ships and installations, a web of defenses and potential strike forces. "The Aegis grid is online, sir," Tanaka reported. "We now have full sensor coverage of the entire system. No ship can enter Sol space without our knowledge." Zhao nodded, his expression grim. "And not a moment too soon. Ambassador Chen reports that the Council's inspection team is en route. They'll be here within the week." Tanaka's hand unconsciously moved to the sidearm at her hip. "Your orders, sir." Zhao was silent for a long moment, the weight of his decision palpable. "Initiate Operation Shadowfall. All non-essential projects are to be hidden or disguised. The inspection team can see our planetary developments. That's to be expected. But the Hercules fleet, Olympus Station, the Aegis grid, all of it stays hidden. And if they discover our deception..." Zhao's eyes hardened. "Then humanity will have to reveal its hand earlier than we planned. But make no mistake, Colonel, we will not bow to the Council's demands any longer. One way or another, the galaxy is about to learn that humanity is a force to be reckoned with." As the orders went out, a tense quiet fell over humanity's hidden projects. Ships slipped into concealed docks, research facilities engaged holographic camouflage, and countless men and women prepared to maintain an elaborate charade. In Geneva, President Adebayo met with her cabinet, their faces etched with concern. "The next few days will determine humanity's future," she said, her voice steady despite the pressure. "We've accomplished more in months than many thought possible in years. Now we must trust in our preparations and in the spirit of our people." Ambassador Sarah Chen, standing at the president's side, spoke up. "And if the Council doesn't like what they see, if they decide to make an example of us," Adebayo's eyes flashed with determination, "then they'll learn what every force that's ever tried to subjugate humanity has learned. We do not go quietly. We do not surrender. We fight, we adapt, and we overcome." As the Council's inspection ship approached the edges of the solar system, humanity collectively held its breath. Years of work, countless resources, and the dreams of billions all hung in the balance. The stage was set for a confrontation that would reshape the galaxy. Little did the approaching alien inspectors know they were about to encounter a humanity far different from the primitive species they expected. The underdogs were ready to bare their teeth, and the galaxy would never be the same. Unexpected triumph. The sleek, silver ship of the Galactic Council inspection team sliced through the void of space, its hull gleaming in the light of Sol. On the bridge, Chief Inspector Zalfax, a tall, spindly being with 4 arms and iridescent skin, gazed at the approaching blue marble of Earth with barely concealed disdain. Sensors detect numerous orbital structures and a high volume of local space traffic, reported his assistant, Mira, her tentacles dancing over holographic controls. considerably more advanced than our last survey indicated. Zalthax's upper lip curled. No doubt they've been busy little primitives since their pathetic plea to the Council. No matter. Our task is clear. Ensure they haven't overstepped their bounds. As the inspection ship entered Earth orbit, they were hailed by a crisp, professional voice. Galactic Council vessel, this is Earth Control. Ambassador Chen is standing by to receive you at the United Earth Government headquarters in Geneva. The landing was smooth, the reception carefully orchestrated to project an image of a species respectful of the Council's authority, yet proudly advancing within the set limitations. Ambassador Sarah Chen stood at the forefront of the welcoming committee, her face a mask of diplomatic neutrality. Chief Inspector Zalthax, she greeted, bowing slightly. Welcome to Earth. We are honored by your presence and stand ready to demonstrate our compliance with the Council's directives. Zalthax's 4 eyes blinked in sequence, a sign of skepticism in his species. We shall see, Ambassador. Your kind has a reputation for pushing boundaries. Over the next few days, the inspection team was led on a carefully curated tour of Earth and its near-orbit facilities. They observed the gleaming cities, the advanced but not overly impressive spacecraft, and the beginnings of modest lunar colonies. All the while, hidden sensors on the inspection ship probed for any sign of illicit activities or hidden technologies. In the war room deep beneath Geneva, General Zhao and his team monitored the inspection's progress with bated breath. Status of Olympus Station, he asked, his voice tense. Colonel Tanaka's fingers danced over her console. Cloaking field holding steady, sir. As far as their sensors can tell, it's nothing more than a large asteroid. Zhao nodded grimly. And the Hercules fleet, safely hidden in the camouflage docks on Mars' far side. They suspect nothing. On the final day of the inspection, Zalthax stood before the United Earth Government Council, his posture rigid. While we have observed advancements beyond our previous assessments, we find no evidence of violations of the Council's restrictions, he stated, his tone making it clear this wasn't a compliment. You may continue your quaint progress within your system. Do not overstep these bounds. As the inspection team prepared to depart, a klaxon suddenly blared through the Geneva complex. Ambassador Chen's comm unit crackled to life with General Zhou's urgent voice. Massive energy spike detected at the edge of the system. Unknown vessels incoming. Before anyone could react, the sky above Geneva lit up with the fiery trails of incoming ships breaching the atmosphere. Sleek, predatory craft of an unfamiliar design screamed overhead, weapons already firing. What is the meaning of this? Zalthax demanded, his composure shattered. Sarah's eyes hardened. It means, Inspector, that you're about to see what humanity is truly capable of. In orbit, hidden defense platforms shimmered into view, their weapons tracking the invading ships. The Aegis grid came online, a web of energy enveloping the Earth in a protective cocoon. General Zhou's voice boomed over the global comm system. This is not a drill. All defense forces, activate Protocol Omega. Hercules fleet, you are clear to engage. From behind Mars, a fleet of ships unlike anything the galaxy had ever seen emerge. The Hercules-class battleships, each a masterpiece of human engineering and reverse-engineered alien tech, surged forward to meet the invaders. On the bridge of the flagship Thermopylae, Admiral Kira Donovan watched as the tactical display lit up with friendly and enemy signatures. All ships, Battle Formation Delta. Let's show these bastards why you don't mess with humanity. The space around Earth erupted into a furious battle. Human ships danced between enemy fire with impossible agility, their advanced FTL drives allowing them to blink in and out of normal space. Weapons fire crisscrossed the void, a dazzling and terrifying light show. On the ground, Captain Marcus Santos led Phantom Squad through the streets of Geneva, evacuating civilians and engaging drop troops from the invading force. His pulse rifle spat coherent light, dropping alien soldiers with pinpoint accuracy. They're pushing towards the UEG headquarters, he shouted into his comm. We need air support." As if in answer, the sky darkened as Olympus Station decloaked in low orbit, its massive form eclipsing the sun. Point defense turrets tracked and eliminated incoming enemy fighters with ruthless efficiency. In the war room, General Jado watched the battle unfold with grim satisfaction. "Colonel, activate the Daedalus protocol." Tanaka's eyes widened. "Sir, it hasn't been fully tested." "Now, Colonel." Throughout the solar system, hidden emitters sparked to life. A wave of energy pulsed outward, enveloping the entire region in a shimmering field. Enemy ships suddenly found their FTL drives offline, trapped in normal space, and at the mercy of the human fleet. The tide of battle turned swiftly. Caught off guard by humanity's unexpected level of advancement, and now unable to retreat, the invading forces crumbled under the combined might of Earth's defenses. As the last enemy ship was disabled or destroyed, a stunned silence fell over the war room. It was broken by the voice of a wide-eyed communications officer. "Sir, we're receiving transmissions from everywhere." The battle was observed by half the galaxy. On the bridge of the Thermopylae, Admiral Donovan allowed herself a small smile. "Send to all frequencies. This is Admiral Kira Donovan of the United Earth Defense Force. Let it be known that humanity stands ready to defend itself and its allies against any aggression. We seek peace, but we will not shy away from conflict if forced." In Geneva, Ambassador Chen turned to the shell-shocked Zolfax, whose multifaceted eyes were wide with disbelief. "I believe, Inspector," she said, her voice steady, "that the Galactic Council may wish to reconsider its position on humanity's readiness for the galactic stage." As news of the battle spread across the galaxy like wildfire, the carefully maintained balance of power began to shift. Humanity, the upstart species that had been dismissed and mocked, had just defeated a significant military force with technology that rivaled or surpassed that of the eldest races. In the Galactic Council chamber, urgent meetings were called. Alliances were reconsidered, threats reassessed, and at the center of it all stood humanity, no longer an ignorable footnote in galactic affairs, but a new power that demanded respect and recognition. The underdogs had not just survived, they had triumphed beyond anyone's wildest expectations. As the dust settled on this new galactic paradigm, one thing was clear: the age of human isolation was over. Whether the rest of the galaxy liked it or not, humanity had arrived on the cosmic stage, and they were here to stay. Galactic upheaval. The great chamber of the Galactic Council buzzed with an energy unseen in millennia. Representatives from 1,000 worlds argued, pleaded, and threatened in a cacophony of languages. At the center of the storm stood Ambassador Sarah Chen, her posture relaxed but her eyes alert, watching the chaos unfold. High Counselor Zixnera's voice boomed over the din. "Order. We will have order." As the noise subsided, his multiple eyes fixed on Sarah. "Humanity has much to answer for. You have deceived this council, developed forbidden technologies, and upset the balance we have maintained for eons." Sarah stepped forward, her voice clear and unwavering. "With all due respect, High Counselor, humanity answered the only way it could when faced with dismissal and isolation. We have not sought conflict, but neither will we apologize for defending ourselves and advancing our civilization." A reptilian delegate hissed from the shadows. "You speak of defense, yet your ships now patrol systems far from Earth. How long before you seek to conquer, as so many upstart species have before?" Before Sarah could respond, an unexpected voice rang out. Krull, the Centaurian diplomat, rose from his seat. "I have worked closely with the humans since their arrival on the galactic stage. While their methods may be unorthodox, their intentions are not conquest, but cooperation and mutual growth." Murmurs rippled through the chamber. Zixnera's appendages twitched in agitation. "You vouch for them, Krull. You would stake the reputation of Centauri on these newcomers." Krull's 4 eyes blinked in sequence. "I would, and I do. I move that we formally recognize humanity's status as a full member of the galactic community, with all rights and responsibilities therein. The chamber erupted once more, but this time with a mix of outrage and support. Sarah caught Kral's eye and nodded slightly, a gesture of deep gratitude. As the council debated, events across the galaxy continued to unfold at a dizzying pace. On a distant mining colony, a group of Jetarian slaves watched in awe as human ships descended from the sky. Captain Marcus Santos, now commander of the newly formed Humanitarian Task Force, stepped out to address the crowd. By order of the United Earth Government, in accordance with galactic law, this colony is hereby liberated, he announced, his voice translated into multiple alien languages. You are free. As cheers erupted from the former slaves, the Jetarian overseers found themselves facing the business end of Phantom Squad's pulse rifles. Meanwhile, in a top-secret research facility orbiting a neutron star, Dr. Samantha Amerson worked feverishly alongside a team of alien scientists. Holograms of complex equations filled the air around them. If we combine your gravitic theories with our quantum tunneling technology, Samantha explained, manipulating a 3D model, we could potentially create a device capable of stabilizing dying stars. A spindly, insectoid alien chittered excitedly. Unprecedented. With this, we could prevent supernovas, save billions of lives across the galaxy. Back on Earth, in the expanded United Earth Government complex, President Adebayo sat across from Zalthax, the former inspection team leader now serving as a liaison between Earth and the Council. Your people move too fast, Zalthax said, a note of wonder in his voice. In mere months, you've transformed the political and technological landscape of half the galaxy. Adebayo smiled wryly. When backed into a corner, humanity has always found a way to push forward. But we recognize that with great power comes great responsibility. That's why I've proposed the Galactic Cooperative Initiative. She activated a holographic display, showing a network of worlds connected by glowing lines, a new framework for interstellar cooperation, shared technology, open borders, mutual defense. No more isolated species, no more hoarding of knowledge. Zalthax's 4 eyes widened. The Council will never agree to this. It goes against millennia of tradition. Perhaps, Adebayo conceded. But the galaxy is changing, Zalthax. We can either shape the change together or be swept away by it. In the asteroid belt between Mars and Jupiter, the first interspecies colony was taking shape. Humans worked alongside aliens of various races, constructing habitats and research facilities. Dr. Alejandro Reyes, fresh from his success on Mars, supervised the planting of a massive biodome. Careful with those Centaurian sun blossoms, he called out to a team of workers. They're delicate, but essential for producing oxygen in low-light environments. A young Vulparian, fox-like in appearance, approached Alejandro. Doctor, I've been studying your terraforming techniques. Do you think they could be adapted to restore my homeworld's damaged ecosystem? Alejandro's eyes lit up. An excellent question. Let's discuss it over lunch. I'm eager to learn more about your world's unique challenges. As humanity's influence spread, not all reactions were positive. On the fringes of known space, a coalition of races opposed to Earth's rising power was forming. Led by the warlike Krithak, they viewed humanity's rapid ascension as a threat to their way of life. In a secret base hollowed out of a rogue planet, Krithak war chief Groknar addressed his allies. The humans spread through our stars like a virus, changing everything they touch. If we do not stop them now, our cultures, our very identities, will be swept away in their tide of progress. A hologram flickered to life, showing schematics of advanced weaponry. With these, Groknar growled, we will remind the galaxy of the old ways. The strong dominate, the weak submit or perish. Unbeknownst to the conspirators, their words were being monitored. In the cloaked human stealth ship Shadowdancer, Lieutenant Zora Khalid listened intently, recording every detail of the Krithak's plans. Transmission sent, Lieutenant. Her AI assistant chimed. UEHQ acknowledges and advises immediate extraction. Zara's hands danced over the controls, plotting a course out of the system. Looks like the piece won't last long, she muttered. But this time, we'll be ready for them. As the shadowed insert slipped away undetected, the pieces of a new galactic conflict were falling into place. Humanity, so recently dismissed as primitive, now found itself at the center of a struggle that would determine the future of countless civilizations. In the Galactic Council chamber, the debate raged on. The motion to accept humanity as full members was met with both fierce support and vehement opposition. The galaxy stood on the brink of a new era, with the fate of all sentient species hanging in the balance. Sarah Chen stood firm amidst the storm of arguments and counterarguments. She knew that humanity's journey was far from over. They had proved themselves on the galactic stage, but now came the true test, not just surviving among the stars, but thriving, leading, and forging a future where all species could reach their full potential. As accusations flew and alliances shifted, Sarah allowed herself a small smile. Humanity had been forged in the fires of adversity, and whatever challenges lay ahead, she was confident they would face them head-on. The galaxy may not have been ready for humanity, but ready or not, the age of Earth had begun. A new era dawns. The Galactic Council chamber, once a bastion of ancient traditions and rigid hierarchies, had transformed. Where once sat only the eldest and most powerful races, now representatives from hundreds of species filled the seats, including many who had been deemed too primitive mere years ago. At the center of it all stood Ambassador Sarah Chen, her expression serene as she addressed the assembled delegates. Fellow sentients, she began, her voice carrying to every corner of the vast chamber. Today marks not just a new chapter for humanity, but for our entire galaxy. The Galactic Cooperative Initiative has exceeded even our most optimistic projections. In just 5 years, we've seen unprecedented advancements in technology, medicine, and quality of life across thousands of worlds. Holographic displays flickered to life around the chamber, showing images of diverse alien species working alongside humans. Barren worlds blossomed with life as terraforming techniques spread. Ships of radical new designs soared between stars, their crews a mix of races united in common purpose. But our work is far from finished, Sarah continued, her tone growing serious. Even as we celebrate our successes, we face new challenges. The Krithak Coalition remains a threat to galactic peace, and there are still those who resist the changes we've brought. High Counselor Zixnera, now a staunch ally of humanity, raised a limb to speak. Ambassador Chen speaks truth. The old ways of isolation and hoarding knowledge have been proven obsolete. Yet change is never easy, and there are those who would drag us back into the darkness of ignorance and fear. In the depths of space, far from the Council's proceedings, humanity's resolve was being put to the test. The U.S. Horizon, Earth's most advanced explorer ship, found itself face to face with a Krithak battle fleet. On the bridge, Admiral Kira Donovan stood tall, her eyes fixed on the tactical display. "They're charging weapons," her tactical officer reported, tension evident in his voice. Kira's expression remained calm. "Open a channel." As the communication line crackled to life, she addressed the Krithak fleet. "This is Admiral Donovan of the Earth Alliance. We have no quarrel with you. Stand down and let us discuss our differences peacefully." The response came in the form of energy beams lancing out from the Krithak ships. But Kira was prepared. "Activate the Aegis shield," she ordered. A shimmering field of energy enveloped the horizon, absorbing the attack harmlessly. "Return fire," her weapons officer asked, fingers hovering over the controls. Kira shook her head. "No. Initiate the Harmony Protocol." From the horizon's hull, a wave of golden energy pulsed outward. As it washed over the Krithak ships, their weapons and engines suddenly went offline. Confusion reigned on the enemy bridges as their technology refused to respond to commands. "Krithak fleet." Kira broadcast again. "We have neutralized your ships without harming a single life." This is the power of cooperation, of technology shared and improved upon by multiple races. We invite you to experience this unity firsthand. Come aboard, and let us show you a better way forward. Back on Earth, in the towering spires of New Geneva, President Adebayo stood with Zalthax, watching a live feed of the confrontation. "Your people continue to surprise me," Zalthax mused. "Where others would see only enemies to be destroyed, you see potential allies." Adebayo smiled. "It's a lesson hard learned through our own history, Zalthax. Every hand extended in peace, every effort to understand those different from us, makes us all stronger." Their conversation was interrupted by a priority alert. Dr. Samantha Emerson's excited face filled the holographic display. "Madam President, Ambassador, we've done it. The first test of the stellar stabilizer was a complete success. We've just added another billion years to the lifespan of a dying star." As news of this breakthrough spread, celebrations erupted across the galaxy. Species facing the imminent death of their suns saw hope rekindled. The promise of near immortality for entire star systems sent shockwaves through galactic society. On Mars, now a thriving garden world, Dr. Alejandro Rice led a team of human and alien scientists in developing the next generation of terraforming technology. With these advancements, he explained to a group of eager students from a dozen worlds, "We'll be able to make even the most inhospitable planets livable. No more resource wars, no more overcrowded homeworlds." In the Galactic Council chamber, the mood was one of cautious optimism. Sarah Chen concluded her address, her voice ringing with conviction. "We stand at a crossroads. The path ahead is not easy, but together, there is no challenge we cannot overcome. Humanity extends its hand in friendship to all species, all civilizations. Let us write the next chapter of galactic history not as competitors or conquerors, but as partners in a grand cosmic adventure." As applause filled the chamber, Sarah caught Krell's eye. The Centaurian diplomat nodded, his 4 eyes shining with pride and hope. They both knew that the journey ahead would be fraught with difficulties. Old prejudices die hard, and there would always be those who feared change. But humanity had proven itself. From dismissed primitives to pivotal players in galactic affairs, they had shown a tenacity and adaptability that inspired billions across the stars. The age of isolation was over. A new era of cooperation, innovation, and shared destiny had begun. As the council session adjourned, representatives from countless worlds mingled, sharing ideas and forging new alliances. The galactic community, once fractured and stagnant, pulsed with new life and purpose. Sarah Chen stood at the heart of it all, a quiet smile on her face. Humanity had not just found its place among the stars, it had reshaped the very nature of galactic civilization. The future stretched out before them, vast and full of possibility. And as starships of 1,000 designs soared between glittering worlds, as ancient races and newly uplifted species worked side by side to unlock the universe's deepest secrets, one thing became clear: the galaxy would never be the same again. Humanity, once mocked and dismissed, had become the catalyst for a cosmic renaissance. The stars, once distant and forbidding, now beckoned with the promise of endless adventure and discovery. And humanity, with its allies both old and new, stood ready to answer that call, today and for all the tomorrows to come.